What are we doing here? Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. What's this? No Twitch. No Twitch ad today. I can't control that. And this is in. This is out. This is in. This is out. This is in. So there must be. That's in. That's out. We're still recovering from another crazy day in the shop yesterday. Just that's the only word to use for it. It's just getting worse and worse, better and better, of course. Yeah. But there's never any time now for any other kind of work whatsoever. You know. What am I doing here? It's difficult to understand which is in and which is out here. Here, this goes in, this goes out. Okay, wake up, wake up. What have we got here? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. How's it feel to be carving? It's fun, of course. Absolutely, absolutely. If you had to ask me which of all the jobs I do I consider to be my real job, you know, of course, I think I'm a carver. I like to do this. It's all the things I do, I think this is the one that's the most, this is my job, you know. this job's going to take a while. I mean, the real wave, carving the key block for the real wave, a couple of years ago, it took me months and months and months, back when I still had more time to spend on carving. So this is going to be quite an extensive project. I'm going to be on this for quite a while, you know. This was one of the considerations when I was chatting with our young girl, Kaori-san, how much to simplify on this. Because if we just made a straight reproduction of the wave in smaller size, it would, you know, take me just as long to carve it as it would the real thing, you know. So she's simplified for me. There's fewer strokes, fewer curves of the wave, fewer people in the boats, fewer oars. Rather than just shrinking the thing in size, we've simplified it, cut away elements, you know. But it's still a ton of work, you know. And this is all an experiment. We really don't know, are we going to be able to do this in a print party successfully? It's not an easy thing to print. There's 2 gradations in it. And given that all these lines are quite fine and small, the registration is going to be close. So what we're thinking is we'd like to do it in the print parties just for level 2, people that have already done the party once and they came through okay and did a good job. Then they can do this one. But in real life, what's going to happen is everybody's going to want to do this one, even the first time attendees, obviously. So I think we've just got to make it in a form that it's doable by everybody. And that's not easy. We may be biting off more than we can chew, but or biting off more than our customers and visitors can chew, if you see what I mean. And these are Hokusai lines. Now they're wiggly, they're rough, they're energetic. There's no smooth, delicate calligraphy curves here. This guy couldn't sit still. Every stroke of his is energetic or frantic or whatever word you want to use to describe it. There's no delicacy here. It's all frenetic. That's a good word, I think. Great, we're on a diet, yes, so This is another part of it. These circles that get popped out of it, this is the foam, of course. They're going to be represented by the white paper. But if the circles are too small, or the holes in the block are too small, then when people rub their pigment and paste on it, the paste will get blocked, blobbed in these circles. When we're printing, we know how to handle that. We brush it very delicately, but the party visitors, I don't know. So I know, we'll see. There's a bunch of sort of strikes against this, but we'll see. With our current print party image, because it's an original, when people have finished it, there's nothing in their minds to compare it to. So whatever they did is sort of okay. But when you're making a version of a famous print, everybody knows what it looks like. So they expect their own to match up. Where should I go next? Let's take out... let's take out these lines. Are we visible? Am I still in the... If I get any zoomed in closer without it losing focus, I'm not sure. Let's see, maybe. The thing is, the closer I zoom in, the more it tends to go out of the field of view as I move the block around. I sharpened it before I started today. It should do pretty well. I mean, this is pretty rough carving, so it doesn't need to be super delicate. So I sharpened it before I started this morning while I was doing a speed test. Did I prepare the story I wanted to wait before telling? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I really don't remember. I'm sorry. Was it yesterday? What were we talking about? What was the theme? I don't know. Sorry to be an idiot here, but I don't remember the specific thing we were... Yeah, I'm off. As soon as I zoom in too close, you know. Where am I? Well, let's get the tip worked out here. The tip of the thing is right there. That's the downside of zooming in too close. I can't do both here. I can't keep it exactly. Oh, I remember now. Yeah. It was about the Arakawa print. I didn't prepare. I'm sorry. I know. Okay, let's just take a rain check. Let me get my notebook here. Yeah. I've got to do that. Nah. Okay, hang on a sec. It's not that there's a story to tell. It's that there's something I have to get done here. Arakawa. No. It's one of the Doi Hanga prints that Ayumi-san tried to print and didn't quite make it. Doi Hanga took the blocks back and they had it printed outside, and maybe it was going to be good enough and maybe it wasn't good enough, and it's turned out to be really nice, so we've got to have a look at that. But I don't have the prints here in front of me to show you. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about teasing. I wasn't actually trying to tease. I was just trying to, you know, I just lost the thread of what I was trying to talk about, so. But I've written it down now, so I'm going to pass it on to Cameron when he gets here. So, or in fact, maybe if you remind me again when Cameron gets here, if you can remind me about this, then I can have him go and grab those prints, and maybe we can talk about that while he's here. So much to keep track of, you know, I can't. Well, Aoyama-san is going to get here this morning. He's coming back for another day of work on the construction downstairs. You know, he worked here on Friday on the construction down there. is away for the weekend with his family. And I had my assignments, things I was supposed to do down there. I was really supposed to finally get my toilet finished, get the floor in and put the toilet itself installed. And I've done none of those things. I didn't even open the shutter to the shop down there over the weekend. It was just impossible. So he's coming back this morning, 9:30 or something. He's going to expect that work to be done so he can move on to the next part. And I didn't get any of it done. He's going to look at me. And he knows what the story is. He knows what's going on here. So it's not a question of being angry or upset. And he's just going to shrug his shoulders and whatever. Let's move on. But I got absolutely nothing done on the construction on the weekend. I don't know, that's going to be open like next year or something now. We're just so far behind the 8 ball now. Where should we go next? The little guys here? Now these little guys have actual on their back. Let's get around the outside first. Let's start here, work down towards the guy's name. Questions. Look at this. Trying to keep track of this, sorry. Are the legendary loot prints still going? Yes, of course. All our subscription prints are all still available. and take off too much at once, it's too big and it doesn't want to come. That's when the knife might break if I'm not careful. So gotta be reasonable on how much wood you try and take away with any given stroke. Too much is not so good. It might be a bit confusing what's going on here on the actual carving. There's lines. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. There's lines. And there's the lines of these men. There's the lines, you know, of all the little boat parts. And why am I carving around the line and the outside part? The way this hook side design works is there's 3 in the original print. Let's find one. Take it out. Yeah. Okay, here's this sort of same zone in the original print. Here's the guys and the waves and the mountain behind him. Here's the guys and the waves and the mountain behind him. In the original print, the lines were blue, dark blue. And then in the print itself, there were 3 levels of blue. A faint light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. And looking at different variations of these prints, there's 2 ways they were made. One system was to use 3 blue blocks. 1 block for the lightest blue, 1 for the medium blue, and 1 for the dark blue, including the lines. So this line that goes around the guys was dark blue, and it included this area as well. Now, some reproduction versions, and we don't even really know about the original one, did it in 4 blocks. A light blue block, a medium blue, a dark blue wave, and the lines separately. Now, because this is for our print party, and we really want to keep the number of blocks to a minimum, but we still want the thing to look like the Great Wave, I am absolutely going to do that version where the dark blue lines and the darkest area of the waves are together. So you can see what we're doing here. See these things here. There's a line and a dark and a line and a dark. So on my version, I'm going to include them. There's the line, which will be dark blue, and this will be the dark blue area of the waves. So we're going to combine those 2, absolutely. So our girl who drew this out for me, Sexan, the young girl who, you know, sketched it for me, simplified it, she just drew the outlines. But I'm adapting it. I'm going to take the outlines she drew, and I'm also going to include the dark area of the waves. So when I get to the big inside of the wave up here, this part, where I'm going to be not just carving these lines, I'm going to be including the area between them. And you can see what's here, the same thing up on the main wave. There won't be outlines for this area. It'll just be a dark blue area plus the outlines in all the curly areas. That's the 2 different ways that this print has been made over the years. 3 blue blocks or 4 blue blocks. We're doing it here. We're going to do it with 2 blue blocks. So there's going to be the dark area, which has the lines and those wave things, and then there will be, instead of 2 different blues, there will be 1 lighter blue interspersed around them. And I can tell you, nobody is going to notice because it's going to look just like the real Great Wave. Let's get this area chopped out of here. Did the mic fall down, honey? Yeah, the mic is on the... Okay, height. The mic is clipped to the stand, and I guess I'm banging the stands. All right, okay. Sorry about that. Let's clip the mic here to the wire. Is that better? Sorry about that. Always something. We have real high quality production values here. All right, next problem. What will be the next problem? Having a bit of trouble, not trouble, that's the wrong word, the wood here. And normally we carve down the grain, but this piece of wood has such straight grain that no matter which way you carve from, it still lifts the wood. So normally the wood's got a pretty strong grain in one direction, and you choose it and you cut with it, clear with it. But this one's both ways are chipping up here. It doesn't affect the cutting knife, but it affects the clearing here. Oh, who's this? 8:46. Might be Cameron a bit early, I guess. Might be Doy's son. Could be Cameron's son, I guess. Let's see. He plays with different train schedules, trying to avoid the biggest rush. I recognize the footsteps. I recognize the shoes. It's not Kawai-san. So Kawai-san, I think he's got shoes two sizes up from you or something. They're much heavier shoes. So
boom, boom, boom.
So crash.
Good morning.
It has been busy, sir. It's been busy.
Yeah, the weekend was
pretty full. The weekend's busy. So lots of good fans, lots of good sales, lots of good talk, lots of good parties. Today again, parties are sold out. So
again, wow.
I didn't even open the shutter downstairs, so Aoyama-san's gonna come. He's gonna be disappointed. I didn't even be done.
Didn't you do anything?
So why didn't you do anything? Well, he knows why, but
yeah.
So.
Wow, looking nice.
So it's the Great Wave Redux.
Yeah.
So, and they're all, look at this, comments. I have no idea. It's just...
Would you like me to hop in or no?
Yeah, there might be. Actually, before you do this, somebody just reminded me. When I was chatting the other day, I said, oh, I got to show you something. But I didn't have it ready to show.
Okay. What
I had part of it.
I get?
What we've got is, if you can go... I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, the Arakawa prints. If you can go two things.
Okay.
Into the shop, can you bring back Ayumi-san's two prints?
Okay.
You know where they are? And then before you go, in the bench over in the party room, the bench against the window, left-hand side, there's all the reject copies of the prints we received from the outside printers.
Okay.
You know, there's 1,000 Great Waves in there.
Got it.
In there, there's a plastic envelope with a bunch of prints this size. It's the Arakawa prints that Ayumi-san tried. So it's about 40 prints all together in a pack. Do you know? Do you know the design? It's It's this one.
Okay, yes.
They're all in the pack. So if you can bring that pack, please, then we got some stories we can tell. Thank you.
You aren't kidding. 1,000 copies of the rejected
Yeah,
Great Wave.
I was
did not
telling
see
Sonny this morning, you know, what that box is.
Yeah.
You got to think, that's got to be the world's largest supply of great wave prints in one single location in one place, right?
Yeah.
And
I had no idea there were so many in there.
I didn't count them. There's got to be at least a couple of hundred. I said 1,000, but there's a couple of hundred copies in there. So,
Yeah.
and every time we talk about this, I know what the stream is going to say. I want one. I want one. I want one. I want. What we're talking about now is, you know, we send the great wave prints out batches of usually 60 sheets at a time. Actually, should we turn the computer on?
Sure.
Let me get these plastic things out of the way. I've got 3. I wired in this morning, so there's 3. Can we do this? You know how to handle this. Right, here we go. I think we're okay.
Tell us if the stream goes down.
Actually, I've learned too, even when it does go down from that, if we just sit tight, it does come back. So it isn't that the stream goes down, it's that my signal goes down.
Huh.
Did it stay stable?
Doesn't look like anything's on.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Jumping away. All right, 6 things to talk about at the same time. I mentioned the camera, and I'll zoom out a bit. What I've got here on my bench here for a guide for what we're doing this morning is I just went and grabbed a print from the reject pile we have here. Yeah. And normally when we send the paper out to our Great Wave printers, am I talking? It's okay, right?
Yeah.
We send about 60 at a time, and we never get 60 sheets back. 50 is good. We've got a difficult set of blocks, so we have 50. So we had about 8, 10, 12 sheets that are something wrong with them that we can't sell. They're not total chaos, but there's enough problems with them that we can't sell. So they go in a drawer. They go in a drawer. We've been doing this now for how many years? We've sold over 1,000 of these things. So the reject prints now, I think there's, you know, in the early days they were quite heavy. We had a bunch of batches that were totally rejected.
I saw some of the envelopes.
So are very thick. So we've got about a couple of hundred copies of this Great Wave in there, and it just struck me, you know, that's probably the world's single largest collection of Great Wave prints in one place all at one time. It's like when you're digging for gold. There's a gold vein that comes up, and we've got a vein.
Hit the mother lode.
Hit the mother lode. So, and they'll already be asking, I want one, I want one, I want one, and we don't do that.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. They're rejected prints for one reason or another. And what we should do is, you know, send them back to the temple and burn them up, and away they go back to the skies to say thanks to the gods. Anyway, don't get sidetracked. The story I was trying to tell you the other day. Last Monday, the gentleman came from the Doi Hunger Company.
Oh, right.
They visit quite often on Mondays. And he brought with him, you know, I don't know what the background people are. We have prints from the Doi Hunger Company that we have made ourselves. We're using their old blocks to print some ourselves. And we have prints that they are giving us that they have left over from the old stock that they printed over the years, which both go into our shop here. And sometimes they bring prints that they've got from their old stock that we just say, no, thank you. I know we can't do that because it wasn't made very well. Because in recent years, they really haven't been keeping the quality very carefully. The couple who's running out don't know. They're not evil. They just didn't know. Yeah. And because they didn't know, the printers took advantage of them, and the printers did very, very rough work. And we've mentioned the word in the stream here, itakura-san, when we talked about that print of Kagurazaka. I compared the two, the French version and the Japanese version. And the copies that they had in their stock were printed by Itakura-san. He's an older printer here in Tokyo, older than me, and very respected. But in recent years, he's been doing work that's sort of a bit...
quality sliding.
Whatever, he's let it slide. Okay, let's just say that. He's not an evil person. He has just let it slide because the publishers haven't kept his feet to the fire. He's just tried to, you know, just blow it through. Yeah. So we've rejected a bunch of those prints from him. Now this time, we borrowed the blocks for the Arakawa print. Did you bring them the ones from the other room here? What did you do?
I think I did.
Nope. Did I
handed them to you? Are they under...
Oh, here they are.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Never mind.
Okay, then. I'm glad we've got them.
We borrowed the blocks for the Arakawa print. It's a Hasui design published by Doi Hunger Company back in, do your translation here, Cameron-san. It says Showa 7. Okay, Showa 26 is me. I'm born in Showa 26, 1951. So we go back to Showa 7, that's minus 19. 51 minus 19, that's not an easy 32. One to do. 41, 31, 32, 1932. Yeah. So 1932, this was designed by Kawase Hasui, published by the Doi Hunger Company, carved, and the block set. Now the block set is still there. Yeah. And we borrowed it from them. And this was just before Aimi-san gave me the word about her baby plan. So this would be now, she's going to have the baby like 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. This is about 8 months ago or so. We got the blocks, and Aimi-san and I sat there and looked at them, and we thought, look, can you really do this? And she said, I don't know, but we both said,
give it a shot.
Give it a shot, give it a try. And up to then, Aimi-san had done Mitsugiri-ban prints for us, the long, thin ones, and she got 2 of those published, and we had done quite well. The reject rate had been pretty high, like 1/3 of them ended up being rejected or something. But anyway, we got some beautiful, beautiful prints out. Both of us knew that challenging a full Nishikiban size with 30 impressions or 36, a bunch of which are gradations, and we had problems with the paper and the dosa. Yeah. We knew it was dangerous. Yeah. Dangerous in the sense that we might not make it, and they were right. All 40 of the sheets, she and I together, we had to realize we couldn't sell them. They were rejected. Now, when I show them like this on the camera, people are going to say, oh my God, beautiful. It looks so beautiful. And it does. It looks beautiful. She got so close. And this is going to sound pretentious. I'm sorry. Any other publisher in town would have put these on the market and would have sold them. But both she and I, we don't know. They just weren't good enough. And if I can zoom in or close up, whatever, just try and pick some places around them on this first one. The registration here, I don't know if we can see it. Can you see it? The blue goes off. There's a little white line where it doesn't match, and the blue goes out of the frame. There's a place here where the sky, it's totally mottled. She didn't get close enough with her Baron to the edge of the sky, so the beautiful blue sky is spoiled. There's another place over here where the registration, because the blocks expanded too much, the registration didn't match. It's not any given one thing, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here again, down by the woman at the bottom here. The registration just doesn't quite line up with her feet. And this is the top, this is the good one. There's ones in the pile that have much worse problems than that. She had a ton of Baransuji at the top. She pressed too hard on wet paper and made a bunch of swirling circle marks. So without trying to insult her at all, she did a fabulous, fabulous job for a girl of her experience level. Yeah. But both she and I sat there and thought we didn't want my name on it or her name on it. We just thought, okay, that was a good try. You're still working. Let's go back to it, do a couple of other prints you can do, and we'll call this a day. We'll come back to it later. So these 30, 36 or whatever they are sheets or something, she took one home as a souvenir. We've got the rest here. They're not saleable. And the blocks went back to the Doi people. The Doi people know about what we were doing. Because, we'd asked them. They said, we're going to pay some royalties on this. And I explained, no, we're not going to pay royalties.
We're not going to sell them.
So, we're not going to sell them. And the couple were over here. This was, what, a couple months ago or so? Or something, I guess a couple months back. Yeah. And they said, can we see this? So we brought this out. This very pack of rejected prints, brought it out. And we're drinking tea and showing these people. And they said, what?
Why not?
So why not? And then I pointed out to them this and this and this and this and this and this. And they said, huh? But not in a sarcastic way. They said, okay, we get it. We now understand sort of what Mokuhankan is trying to do and where you've drawn your line. It's a question of where do you draw the line.
Yeah.
None of the prints we ever make are perfect.
Right.
You've had to draw the lines and we say, okay, look, that is okay. That's where they're going to go out. Yeah. And it's a question of where you draw the line. So she and he, the couple, the elderly couple, saw and we chatted and they realized, okay, we get it. We understand what Mokuhankan is trying to do. You're drawing the line quite high, but okay, we buy that. But they said, okay, they're going to take the blocks back and they're going to send them to Itakura-san because they want to sell prints. They don't sell just to us. They sell to other shops in town, And I said, okay, you can send them to Itakura-san, but there's my standard.
Yeah.
There's my standard. This is no. If Itakura-san is willing to give this a go,
meet this standard.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, whatever, they'll take him away. And they have sent the blocks out to Itakura-san. And last Monday, they brought back, and this is curious, they brought back just 2 sheets. Now, they didn't send it to be printed just 2 sheets. They must have sent out 100 or 50 or whatever the batch was. And they brought back 2. And he and I looked at these last Monday, and I can find no problems with them. It is smooth, good, rich color. The rain is very nice. There's no misregistration. It all does seem very, very nice. And if he hadn't told me this is Itakura-san, I would never have said. I've said, who? This is Seki-san. You brought Seki-san back from the dead to do this, because this is a Seki-san level of printing. And she said, no. They went to Itakura-san and told him what was going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what he said or how he must have said that. Or he said, okay, I can do that. I don't have any idea. And I don't really know what he thinks of me. Whether he thinks I'm a jerk who is pushing too far or whether he says, okay, I'll show that bastard I can do this. I have no idea what's in his mind. Because these days I have no direct communication with him.
Right.
And I think what I would like to do is get a little gift ready, get some cookies and something, and take one of these prints over there to visit him myself and say, we just got these from Doi-san, and wow, these are really well made, and thank you very much. And whether that's something I should do or whether he would think I'm just being a jerk about it or something, I don't know. I've met him any number of times back in the old days when I was an ongoing member of the group. I used to go and drink with him and stuff like this. But in recent years, I've had no communication with him. And I would like to do one thing, because what he does and what he has always done since the beginning of time, and he will do till the day he dies, is he makes a mess in the corner. He doesn't give a care about it, and he puts the prints in the corner, and it picks up pigment from the blocks. And you see this now, this is Itokoro-san's work.
So that's how you knew.
With our own, we would never, ever, ever. We clean the corners carefully, but it takes an extra, few seconds or whatever as you're doing each one. You just bang. Katima's not important. It's going to be framed anyway. People are going to cover the border.
Yeah.
So whatever. We're going to take these prints and we're going to put them in the shop. I guess probably now that we've talked about them on Twitch, we probably should put them in the online catalog or something, And what I don't know, he has brought me these two.
Yeah.
And whether the other 59 copies or whatever are matches or not, I don't know. But I told him straight, that's very nice. This is fabulous. It's wonderful, good. We'll sell them straight away with no question.
Yeah.
Are the others going to match? And he said, oh, they look pretty good to me. They look pretty good to me. So he's left himself a little out.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
They look pretty good to me. So at the moment, we have 2 copies of this. And it could be that we've got a whole edition. And we are very, very proud. We didn't make these. It's the Doi Hunga Company blocks sent to an outside printer. I didn't touch this, but I think my hand, is all over it. I think so.
Kantar says, "Yes, please put it online." So
whatever, it's up to you. Whatever. If we actually today, what I'll be doing today is Aoyama-san and Kawai-san are down in the shop downstairs today. We're booked solid with print parties.
Yeah.
So it's Doi-san today. He can't do parties, so I'll be the party host today.
Okay. You're going to be busy.
Scratching. So, and the shop is going to be nuts again. So, so if I get a chance today, yes. If I don't, I'll just try and stay up late tonight again and do this. Are you copying the channel here and there?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the one story that I tried to tell the other day, but I didn't have my props ready. So the Arakawa print, there's other prints from the Doi Hunga Company too.
Yeah. People are jumping in saying, the color for this is amazing. The colors look brighter than the test tones that Ayumi-san was doing. Is there... Pretty different, especially the grass down at the bottom.
So this is a question of taste. So the grass is quite different. What Ayumi-san and I did, because we didn't have a sample, we just had a rough print that was wrapped with the blocks.
Yeah.
We went online, we searched on the ukiyo.org database for different ones, and we found a few copies, online copies, that are, as far as we can tell, early copies. So what we tried to do, we tried to match the color tones from the earliest versions when Sadaichi was still alive. Plus, we sat ourselves and said, what do you want to do? I'm saying, what do I want to do? How do we want to do this? So we've got, it's the old version plus our own taste.
Right.
Now, they must have given Itokoro-san some sample of what they had. And to me, this is post-war. And what they've done is they've printed the grass here in a Yoshida style. I don't know if you can see it. They've printed it in, it's not gomazuri in terms of bad printing. It's gomazuri in terms of textured printing. They have tried to put a texture into the printing, which I myself almost never like and never do. So our version, we put in a smooth, clean gradation. But clearly there's been a variation in a conceptual idea here. This is not right or wrong. They have chosen to do it this way, and I'm going to accept it. I myself would not have done this, but it's a print. It's a design. It's what they chose to do. And whether it's Hasui's intention or not, I'm sorry, I don't know. And at this point, nobody knows. So So we've talked about this many, many times. My personal taste is I look for the technical aspects to this, the misregistration, the smooth color, the things that have gone wrong. The artistic aspects of this now become a matter of opinion rather than this is good, this is bad. And the Doi people and Itokoro-san, somewhere between them, ended up going this way. Itokoro-san's choice or their choice, I have no idea. I don't care. It's none of my business. This is a finely made print, and it will go in our shops. We had a different taste and the way we were going to do it, and maybe we put too much blue in the green. Now that I think about it, actually, looking at this brings this green into the foreground a bit lighter. The rain and the storm go into the background a bit more, and it's a bit fresher and greener up front. And when you look at our version, because we put a lot of blue into that green, the storm is also up at the front. It's raining here. We're soaking wet. It's a gray day right up to where we're standing. So it's conceptual difference, And where Hasui would have drawn the line, I don't know. So that's one of the stories then that we wanted to tell, and it should be a whole video by itself, you know, just you know.
Yeah.
And whether or not we're going to have a continual supply of these or not at this point, I don't know. I have seen 2 very fine copies. Yeah. They're going to sell today. We know as soon as we put them in the shop.
Yeah.
And whether there will be more following at the moment, I hope so, but I can't at the point personally guarantee. Yeah. If we take orders for more than 2, what we will guarantee is that we will not ship anything that doesn't match this.
Right.
Please be careful. We've got the internet cable behind Cameron today, so please don't trip over it. Thank you. Then the other thing I've got to mention, because of the experience the last couple of days, are Shiba-san sprints. Yes. I don't know, were you involved in this? We did the dosa, the sizing session on Saturday morning with Shiba-san. And it turned out really, really fun. She and I had a ton of fun. Okay. She has never done this before, and I took a bit of a risk by doing it live on Twitch plus YouTube with Shiba-san trying to do this sizing. But because I know she's a, what's the word, Kyo, she's good at stuff, you know, whatever.
That's handy.
And she decided to try. So we did it. She did it live on Twitch, her very first dosa. And we had some stuff to laugh about. She ended up doing it a different way from me. And it's a long story, whatever. She has, we don't need to go here, actually. She has stronger biceps than I do. So I use my body more than my arm doing this sizing. And she's like, I don't need to do that. She bang, and she just did it straight away. So they weren't perfect, but they were very good. And the point of her being here was that she has been making her own prints. She doesn't have any paper. She's running out of the few copies that she made of this. She needed paper. We just got a batch of what looks like good paper, so bang, 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 one. Right. So we did a bunch of sizing for her print. Nice. And as part of doing it, like somebody's asking, what's this for? So we held up a copy of the print in the middle of the Twitch session. This is blah, blah, blah. Not really paying too much attention to it. Yeah. And people paid attention to it. They asked, what is this? What's going on? Yeah. So I scanned it that day, put it up on the shop. I guess people have probably linked to it.
They've already linked to it.
And people have been ordering it. And overnight, you'll see when you go up to process the orders today, you're going to find in
We're
your
going to get
box.
things shipped.
And what I'm not quite sure is how many copies we have in stock. We have in this shop here 4 or 5 or 6, but I think overnight
may have sold out.
I think they may have sold out. So this morning, in one of the things your job's to do a quick stock check, count on this, send her an email with what's done and what's gone, and it may be that she doesn't have any left. Yeah. So you've got to tell these orders, please wait. Yeah. She is now going to jump back here and start printing some more. But I'm not quite sure if we're out yet or not.
Or if we will be.
And I'm so happy with it. You know, it's not just this one. She has a couple in the shop here. I put both of them up, the other one. And her work is just so much fun. She's taken old tales or stories or ghoulish stories, twisted them into a modern way, put her own intellectual input into it, and then gone out and designed it and cut it and printed it all by herself. Yeah. And it's just not happening in the world. There are modern artists who are trying to making stuff, but they don't know how to cut and print, so they make some stuff and it just doesn't have any meaning. And this girl has, you know, you draw these diagrams that have what kind of strength you have. You know, David has strength here at something, but he has no strength at this, you know, whatever. Yeah. And this girl is sort of all round, whatever, you know, all around. I love what she's doing.
And on the back, she's got long stories. Although the longer version is
in Japanese. I just put a capsule.
But
we're going to, no, it's on the list. And people have been asking, Dave, I want more information. On the fan page, people are asking. And I said, okay, we'll try and... The thing though, even for her, when she starts explaining, Shiba-san is one of these girls, oh my God, we have this trouble in the store all the time when she's on duty. Somebody asks a question, and an hour later, they're backed into a corner, she's in front of them, and she's still explaining, and the person, there's sweat rolling down her face, and they're like, how can I get out of here? How can I get out of here? Because she's so enthusiastic about it. I do the same thing. I guess I do the same thing, you know, So sometimes I've had to come into the shop and, Shiba-san, there's a phone call for you or something, you know, and the person is... get out of here. So, not in a bad way, just she is so enthusiastic about this. So. Anyway, long story short, they're there. So the 2 prints of hers are online now. They may or not be sold out. I don't know. Yeah. We're making some more. She's making some
counting
more,
today.
And she did a really good job on the sizing. And
so she'll get that paper too. Huh? So she'll get to use all that paper that she made?
Yeah, it was done. It was done for her. Yes, it was done for her. So. And the obvious question, we should get her to help with the sizing from now on, you know. Well, no, because we're using her in the shop and in the party room. She's a really good party host. She's doing a great job with the parties. And then, of course, she wants to make her own stuff And at the same time, she's working for those dudes who make the hairpieces for kabuki.
Yeah.
I've told her, quit, get over here full time. I've offered her. You know, you want a contract, I'll write a contract. Anything.
Yeah.
You can be a full-time employee here because we can use her.
Great,
and she won't take that leap. She's still doing the thing over there with the hairpieces. You know, just, ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Kantar, send us an email about question. He said, I placed an order yesterday. Let me know if I can add one of the Hasui prints over there. We don't have them packaged or anything, but the one that you were just looking at.
Yeah, we've got two copies. We've got the
Yeah.
packaging material for them here.
So we can get them prepared pretty soon, but it may not be today. Is that right?
Today is going to be chaos. I'm sorry. I doubt very much I can get the pack today.
So send us an email. We'll talk.
He's been waiting for
Yeah.
50 years. He can wait a few days more. But as far as who gets them, I don't know. Whatever. They're the 25,000 level.
Okay.
Because of there's an insane number of gradations.
Yeah.
Now the Doi Hunger prints come to us at two price levels,
Yeah.
20,000 yen and 25,000 yen.
Right.
About $200 or $250. This is, he said clearly, this is the upper level. Absolutely, there's just no way. There's so many gradations on this.
Yeah, he said what, 30 to 36.
Yeah, I don't know the exact count.
Colors,
Ami-san
but-
knows, not colors, impressions.
Yeah,
You know,
impressions. And then several of them are gradations.
And when you think about at that kind of price now, I'm very, very happy because overseas these Hasuri productions are selling at like $300, $400, $500. But we don't. Whatever. We're making enough on this. You know, Doi Hunger Company sells it to us at that price. We put a nominal price on top. We don't. Like I said, we didn't invest in this one. So we don't need to make a ton of money. It's not even going to sit here in the shop for one day. So our margin is reasonable on this. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, in years to come, you know. Whether we will be able to continue printing these or Itoku-san or whatever. He's got no apprentice, you know. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I shouldn't be too negative about it because things are coming back to life.
Yeah. Is there... What is this? The marquee at the bottom. Is there a way to switch it to showing our main website, mokuhancon.com? Someone said I've ended up clicking on the Octopus print, and that's not the one I meant.
I haven't pre-programmed it for that. You can turn it off. It's here. It says questions. You can you can turn it off. You know, but I haven't pre-programmed our website into another one. So
well,
whatever. Mokuhancon.com.
Yeah, someone put it into our website, mokuhancon.com, or put it into the chat.
I didn't want to scroll there with our address. You know, click here to buy prints. I don't want to do that. You know?
Makes sense. But some people do want to, in fact,
buy
prints.
Fair enough.
But, let's see.
Okay.
Bribe the hairpiece dudes to fire her. Oh no.
They are abusive. I don't even want to talk about it. They are a traditional workshop, and she says she's yelled at, screamed at, she's abused. She has good skill. She likes doing it, and her stuff. She works on this hairpiece, not all by herself, but the one that they make in group. It goes out, and it's on stage right now. The guy's doing the super kabuki, the one piece things. That's her work on stage. So of course, it's her skill out in the world. So she's proud of what she's doing.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to diss it in any way. You know, just I'm frustrated because I could, you know,
because you can use her skills too.
But I think coming on the fact that now her prints are being enjoyed by people. We didn't promote this stuff. People looked at that design and said, I want this. They want to collect it and take it home.
Yeah.
And they're selling in the shop as well. So if this doesn't bring her around, my God, her own creative work, going out into the world and having demand, if that isn't enough for her, then I don't know what else I can say. You know?
Yeah.
Part of it, too, is remember, we're not a stable corporation. You know, if she comes here, quits there, comes here, they won't take her back.
Yeah.
And if we don't make it, if we don't survive, then that's it. Then she's out in the world again, looking for working at the 7-Eleven or something, you know. So this looks good, but it's not stable.
But it's been stable for a little while.
So I think just go for it. Well, there's no stability. You go work for Toyota, they could, you know, whatever, restructure you.
They have big layoffs.
There is no such thing as stability anymore.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do. Have fun. Day by day, go for it. Stability. Who cares about that stuff? You know, I joke about. We were chatting with Kawai-san about this last night. There was a guest from America here last night. The three of us, me and Kawai-san, the guest went up for dinner, and the guest is like looking at Kawai-san. You're 39. Why aren't you married? And what's going on? You know.
Yeah.
And Kawai-san is a part-time worker here. And there's no way he can offer to some lady, will you marry me? And she's going to say, that's nice, you're a nice guy. How much do you earn? It's right there on the table on the first day. And he doesn't earn enough to support a family.
Got it.
You know? So that's it, game over. You know.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of stability, it's a question of, you know, having enough to survive as a family. You know? from my point of view, I shouldn't say this because Kawai-san's probably watching this in the coffee shop. You know, there's a certain number of guys working here. There's a certain number of girls working here. And I'm like, okay, you don't make a full living. You don't make a full living, but
together,
you know. But then, of course, if both people in a family, the he and the she, are working at the same place, then it's double danger, you know. Because if that place goes down, if I have a stroke tomorrow or something, or if I get cancer and died in 6 months from now or something, who knows? It could happen. I don't care about that, but they care, you know. Maybe you care. You've got a kid, you know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Whatever. There's no guarantees.
Yep.
No guarantees.
It's never a guarantee.
Cameron, what should I do? Should I get back to carving here, or do I need to shut this down and go? I'm the print party host at 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's 9:15 now. So
9:15. Let me do a little bit more on this. Okay, I've got to do it. Give me 5
we can chat. We've got questions too.
Okay, I'll get back to work for a bit more here then.
Okay. Did the collector of the 100 poets get their set safe and sound? Yes, he did, in fact. And very happy. And we also, I don't know if you've mentioned it before, sent a package of the Hyakunin Issho, which is a newsletter. Is that
20
what you
years
call
worth
it?
of newsletters.
Yeah, 20 years worth of newsletters explaining the history of Dave's carving on that series and so much more. I haven't read it, but there's a lot to read. I've read some entries, but I sent him all that, and he's been very, very happy. It's all in Japanese and English, so it's really good. Let's see. I guess with that, you were pulling at your hair when you're frustrated talking about Shiba-san. So Dave's gonna need one of her hair pieces after he's torn all his out.
I think I'm doing okay for hair, you know. My problem, my nose is too much, you know. Somebody was asking me this in the shop yesterday, Dave, it's kind of time, and it's long past time for a haircut. And the woman who I get to do it, it's the house 2 doors down the road in Ome, but I haven't been to Ome, so
in a while.
I don't know, in a while. So, and I wasn't going to go this Tuesday, but I can't see anymore. I'm sitting there brushing this thing. It's like back when I was, you know, how old was it? 19, where I get out of the house for the first time. My mother always brush cut. So as soon as I got away from my mother, it was like hair too long, you know.
Yeah.
I'm 18 again. Hippie Dave. At least it's clean, you know. I washed it this morning, so at least it's clean.
Yeah. Someone asked, what are you carving? That's the mini version of the Great Wave someone mentioned, and it's for use in the print parties.
Yes. So.
Any idea when this will be in use?
Don't even go there.
All right, never mind. I didn't ask it.
Okay.
To me, is Ayumi's print going to be part of an ongoing series, or is it a one-off print? She has... Do we only have these two
Ayumi
right now?
Shiba.
Yeah.
She has 4 items right now. The first one she did was that Kyosai reproduction. That woman in the garden in the Kyosai reproduction. Yeah. And she and I are fighting about that. It's a nice print. People would like it. Ayumi-san hasn't got permission from the Kyosai family. And she doesn't need permission. It's public domain. He's long dead, past 70 years. He's dead over 100 years, whatever. Yeah. But the woman who is the granddaughter of Kyosai is trying to maintain control over the estate. And she knows Ayumi-san has made this, and she doesn't want it put on the market.
Interesting.
And my word to her is, bend over, lady. I'm going to roll this up, and you're going to see how much this goes into the market. Because I have no sympathy for that. Public domain is public domain. And I have really, really strong feelings on this. Copyright, I get. I understand copyright. I understand IP. But once you're in the law of the land and it's past 70 years past death, that guy's been dead for 100 years.
Yeah.
It's not your property. We can do what we want with it. We can do like the Mona Lisa, paint a mustache on it and sell it.
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
They're asking for a zoom in if you don't mind. Let's see, how close can we get?
I can't see the screen anymore.
That looks good to me.
Okay.
That's sharp.
But Ayumi-san's Japanese, and she's a female, and she doesn't want hostility, and I don't want to make trouble for anybody and stuff. And she has a different viewpoint, so she has just folded her tent. The blocks are sitting there, and the print is not available.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get steamed about it. I don't want to talk about this.
Okay. So there's one, and that's not going to be in the shop right now.
Nope.
What is
the third? She's done a postcard print. In fact, she asked me the other day, please scan it and put it inside. A little post. It's the. It's a piece chopped from her. It is. It's a little poodle or something. I don't even know what it is. I wasn't so interested in it, but whatever. Yeah. In her larger print, there's a thing at the bottom. There's a specific dog with a peony pattern or something on it, and she's done that. Maybe she did it as practice, as a little postcard print. Yeah. That dog. And that's here. It's in the shop. It's over there.
Should I go grab one of those?
If you want. It's in the section. It's next to John Amos's Django print there.
Okay.
You know, Got it? Yeah. So that too, if we get a minute, that can be scanned and put in. I didn't bother because I wasn't so interested in it myself, but she wants me to put it in, so.
Much smaller print, you can see. But it's unusual for it to have such wide margins. Is that?
I don't know the story. I don't know. Just it was leftover paper or something, and you know. So maybe this wasn't packed by our staff for 100 Club, you know.
So there is another one, and then the two larger prints you've already seen. So it's not quite a series, but they're her designs.
Yeah, they're all themed. Yeah,
themed together. So there's some sort of connection, but it's not like this is episode 1.
And we really need to sit down and put the camera on and do a video with her, but you know, my God, I don't know. That must be Kawai-san. He's in the stairwell putting up the flag, getting ready to start the day.
Woohoo!
And Doi-san too. Our day begins.
Aoyama-san, ohayou gozaimasu.
Good morning, good morning. Hello.
Does the Mokuhankan site go through Japanese bank? Not directly on the website, but you can choose, what is it, modern,
bank, what do you mean?
Manual payments, and then we do accept bank transfers.
Are you talking about the Japanese web shopping site, you mean?
I think he says the English website, but he's probably living here in Japan. I don't know. Tell me more of your story.
Well, you've got subscribers living here in Japan who pay through 7 Bank or the Post Office Bank.
Yeah, so we take bank transfers. You just can't do it directly on our Mokuhankan website, but if you write to us, we'll organize it.
It doesn't click and jump to your bank. No, of course not.
That was for cat zombies. Let's see. Next tab. What is the Tiger Woods problem? Someone asks.
How do you know about that? What's that? We were talking about that yesterday with Jim Monday. What's that? What's that?
I remember it came up sometime last week too. Tiger Woods problem.
I got a couple of Tiger Woods letters over the weekend, but how does he know about this?
I don't know.
Hello, Kawai-san. Good morning.
Heard about it on a previous one?
大丈夫ですか？元気？
大丈夫大丈夫。
昨日の夜ちょっと疲れかなと。
まあいやいやね。いやいやちょっとビールドラゲのビールちょっと早すぎるスリーピースをちょっとね。
僕ちょっと心配したんです。確か何言いましたかなとか。
いや別に単純にネイティブのカンバセーションでスピーディーに聞こえるから頭がブレインが疲れてきてもう何言ってるか分かんなかったら眠かったじゃん。
There was an American guest last night. We went for dinner for the 3 of us. So of course, me and Jim Monday were just and Kawai-san, he's okay in English, but it's just too fast.
ちょっと難しかったから彼のちょっと難しくてキャメラさんとかどちらかと聞けるちょっとね分かんなくてね。
Come say hello to the stream.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。お辞儀パフォーマンス。ジャパニーズハウス。
Jolly Green Titan said, "My fault. I made the reference from a long past stream about the Tiger Woods problem. So
well,
it was mentioned sometime in the past.
It came up, you know. Whatever this, like, I don't know. Whatever. I think it makes me sound pretty stupid, but there's another email in the. In fact, you can answer whatever.
Yeah.
It's somebody says, I've seen your YouTube videos. I want to do printmaking. You know, where do I start? And we just call it the Tiger Woods letter. So meaning that if you're in the world somewhere. I was careful. Send Kudasai. After he trips, you know, so whatever. You know, you've seen the golf tournaments on TV. It looks really good. Wow, I want to do that. So you go to the internet. Dear Mr. Tiger Woods, you know, how do I get started? You know? I mean, nobody would do that.
Yeah.
In that world, what you do, you go to because in the world of golf, there are local people who do it. So I'm being a bit stupid about this. But my point being, please don't write to me about how you get started. If you've made some prints and you're looking for, guidance or whatever, write to us and show me your prints and I'll be enthusiastic. But please don't write to me and say, how do I get started? Because there's, we ourselves have gone to a lot of trouble to put a shitload of information out there. There's resources. And if you don't even have enough gumption to be able to search that little bit and find that little bit of stuff about where to get started. If you don't even have enough of that in you, then you're not going to be a printmaker, because believe me, it takes a lot of thinking. What do I do? What do I do? How do I do this? How do I do this? If you can't solve some little problems like that, then just please go. So whatever. I don't want to get into this. So I don't want to end on this kind of note, but whatever. So.
Someone summarized the Tiger Woods problem with, quote, use Google, end quote.
Yeah, whatever. So, I mean, that's the sarcastic reply, you know, so just get on Google, and there is, you know, a lot of information out there. So. But I'd be careful, because then people think they can't write to me with problems. Yeah. But if you've been making prints, if you've been trying it, if you're on the way, then write to me. It's okay. Me and the group here, the fan group or whatever, we'll all share our expertise. And we'll talk. Yes.
Actively talking in there.
But if you're at stage 0, what do I do? What tools do I need? Please just look around.
Look around, yeah.
All right, sir, we are going to have a busy day here. I have got to get going now. I've got to get the print party room set up.
I don't think you got any more carving, I'm sorry.
I got one more line.
Oh, you got one more line, okay.
And this is going to take a while, you know. We're going to be, you know, the streams now for the next little while are going to be just carving, you know. So this has got to get done. So at least there will be streams regularly now. There won't be one. You have to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yep, tomorrow's Tuesday. So
and I am going to be. I won't be in home. I can't lie about that. I'll be downstairs. But there's no way. I want to talk to people. I'm going to, you know, the door of the shop is locked. The stream is off. I am going to get downstairs, get some dirty clothes on, and get some work done. So. We'll be back here Wednesday, and also we'll be back here with a better slideshow of pictures from downstairs. Okay. I looked at the stuff.
There's not too much good stuff.
There wasn't anything there. I'm sorry, unless I couldn't find what you uploaded. I don't know what it was. So let's try and get some better pictures from downstairs.
We'll get some pictures in there. Okay. Let's see.
You're going to sign this thing off peacefully here. And
one more copy. Let's see. Anything else that I missed right before we go? Okay, I think it'll be quick. We will get out of here.
And I need a cup of coffee.
Right. Live mic.
Oops.
Oh.
They heard that. I need a cup of coffee.
Oh no. All right. Here we go.